Reach out. Discover how different we all are. And how very much alike.
Some people believe that millions of years ago, man came down from the trees, taking a great evolutionary leap away from the primates. On Friday, one man went back. And now here's meteorologist Ted Texter with a weather preview. Ted?
There's rain and snow in the south and the east, and if you look west, you'll find more snow.
5, 4, 3.
Here's this week's Courtside Countdown.
Dumars is terrific with a wraparound pass in the two-man game. That time he did it in the full sprint.
With over 15 years of experience, ESPN gives you access to 120 million homes on 6 continents in 10 languages. With ESPN Latin America, Asia, Eurosport, and Japan Sports Channel. One phone call to the ESPN International Advertising Sales Department delivers global reach to convey one message. Yours.
Welcome to an unusually cold night at Daytona as Massimo Sigala gets into Ferrari number 50 and Fabrizio Barbazza jumps out and
tax is a tax that only the rich pay is just a bogus argument. And when we were putting the contract of with America together, one of the things that we were very careful to do was to sit down with people who are Nobel laureates and others who know these issues, know what it is that makes the economy do well, know what it is that makes it do not well, and they concluded unanimously that the one thing that we Republicans could do to put people back to work, to create jobs.
We're going to have to take a break, but none of those laureates are making and surviving off of minimum wage. We're going to come right back and try to find out why is something so humane and for many people so necessary, so complicated. We'll be right back.
I'm not ruling it out. I personally am very skeptical of it and think it will kill jobs, and particularly will kill jobs for minority teenagers. But I think we owe it to the president to have hearings.
Este es un rompeuñas.
Esta Navidad tú haces maravillas con la lechera.
The 40.
So please remove yourself from my laboratory.
Ooh, what's that?
Go.
Need a score or late-breaking sports news? Call the ESPN Worldwide Sports Update line. Just dial your international code in 852-172-78400. You'll hear the latest information in English on major world sporting events. For the latest scores and the latest sports news, call all day, every day from anywhere in the world. The ESPN Worldwide Sports Update line. 852-172-78400. 24 hours a day from ESPN.
I guess my motto would...
A beer brings something.
Oh, snap! To the All-Star game? Oh, man, front row seats, man. Are you going to be playing or are you going to be watching it with me? Oh!
I'm just messing with you two. Bought the tickets to last year's game.
Patrick Ewing talked about what it's like being in the spotlight.
My son, he liked.
Yeah?
That's me.
Man, his game hasn't been the same since. He's written some beautiful sonatas, though.
Giselle Fernandez got a few pointers from Team USA star Cheryl Swoops.
All right, put your room. Hey.
So your dad was a boxer, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's a heavyweight.
Did you ever consider boxing?
Nah. Nah, too rough a sport. I mean, I don't want to get hit. I mean,
I had an idea. And on The Tonight Show, Magic Johnson teamed up with Jay Leno to get some gifts for the audience.
All in Houston.
Yes, they will.
I will never resign this office. Never.
Charge against fourth quarter earnings and a $40 million charge in 1996. The move is expected to save Polaroid $90 million annually. The US dollar is mostly higher in Asian trading after gain, and that is the latest in international business news.
It was over 100 years ago that a small group of men had an idea to combine the new technology of GE electric lighting with football, the first night football game. Both the players and the engineers ran into a few setbacks. And while that evening was by no means a great success, the GE engineers knew there would be other nights, brighter nights. And even today, with all our advanced technology, at GE, we know it's just the beginning. The future will be more brilliant than any of us can imagine.
Night football. Yeah, that'll be the day.
We're back with Anthony Hopkins. Is this your favorite role?
The older you get, the wiser you get. I think
Always interesting when Charles Barkley, number 34.
Stephen Goldstone says a tax-free spinoff of its Nabisco unit is more likely in 1997 or 1998. RGR had been resisting efforts by investors Bennett LeBeau and Carl Icahn to split the tobacco and food groups. RJR stock today lost 1/8 to close at 31 1/8.
IBM.
It's only a beginning, always. Because the greatness comes not when things go always good for you, but the greatness comes when you're really tested, when you take some knocks, some disappointments, when sadness comes. Because only if you've been in the deepest valley can you ever know how magnificent it is to be on the highest mountain.
Más dulce que Bimbo ha creado para ti. Nuevas azucaraditas Bimbo ya llegaron y están por todo.
Last Thursday's earthquake killed thousands, many of whom are still buried in rubble.
The Achille Lauro was hijacked. Leon Klinghoffer was shot dead and thrown overboard.
Do not negotiate or bargain with terrorists.
You will see Chernyenko's name disappear under Mikhail Gorbachev.
At least $10 million will go to Africa.
They are feeding the passengers. They are threatening to kill them now. We have pulled our hand grenades in, and he is ready to blow up the aircraft.
Commemorating a decade as the world's news leader, CNN International.
He's put us...
I'm Jessica Ettinger in the Bloomberg newsroom in New York with a look at stories making news in the U.S. and around the world for you. Here now are the headlines. An early winter storm blankets the eastern half of the U.S. President Clinton and GOP leaders hold a budget summit at the White House. Meanwhile, the president vetoed
many of the players in the so-called trial of the century. Among them, Nicole Simpson's friend, Faye Resnick. Simpson's former house guest, Kato Kalin, who even parlayed his association with both O.J. and Nicole today.
Don't they understand that I would jump in front of a bullet for Nicole? I'd jump in front of a train to protect any member of my family.
We saw the bottom of the barrel from two people who had psychic relationships with Kato the dog.
Hollywood.
Coming up, Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon are grumpier than ever, and we'll preview some new movies made for your kids.
CNN International updates global weather 24 hours a day. Look for the forecast for these cities in your region and travel advisories worldwide. CNN International, your source for news, business, and sports, is now the place to turn for global weather 24 hours a day.
Recently on CNN Style.
The NCAA's Youth Education Through Sports, or YES program, engages youth in sports and life skills instruction. Teamwork and cooperative activities help youth apply what they learn in athletics to life situations. The YES program, which sponsors 20 fill-to-capacity clinics annually at various NCAA championships, is expanding its reach with an in-school program. The in-school program allows college coaches and student athletes to visit selected schools and shares the NCAA's commitment to challenging young people to strive for higher levels of achievement.
Yes! Yes!
This message provided by the NCAA.
I guess my motto would be...
Little Red.
And Lemon seems a bit jealous.
Finally, at least I got to work with Sophia, even if I didn't get her in the film, and Walter did. That's great, because I've got Aunt Margaret. That ain't so bad, I can tell you.
I've had in mind for a long time to be able to do a comedy, because I like comedies a lot, and there has been a long time that I haven't done them.
Loren treated the cast to home-cooked pasta. Admiring actors were awestruck.
I literally just found myself with my jaw hanging open all the time.
So much so that Hannah lapsed into her imitation of Sophia Loren in the movie Houseboat.
I kept catching myself singing, you know.
That's right.
Presto, presto, do your very besto.
Grumpier Old Men is a forum for such improvisation, led by Matthau and Lemon.
Here's to us. And to those like us.
There's damn few of us left, huh?
It's ad-libbing that can throw a rookie director or actor.
But not to me, because I'm accustomed in Italy. We improvise all the time. Sometimes we don't even have a script. So for me, improvise is something that I look forward to.
Loren fit in so well, there's talk of getting grumpier Italian style.
There's no script yet, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we end up in Italy and get out of Wabasha.
Sure, you can take them out of Minnesota, but can you take the comical grumpiness from these lunatics of the lake? Oliver Kemp, CNN Entertainment News, Hollywood.
If you're looking for some family...
Need a score or late break end?
Are you ready for some high-flying, slam-dunking hoops? ESPN presents college basketball. The UCLA Bruins, last year's NCAA champions, head to South Bend, Indiana to battle the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. The Bruins and the Irish. Wednesday on ESPN.
A battle of the big men on Friday. The New York Knicks and the Orlando Magic. Shaq.
Garota de ringue lá na região de Los Angeles, na Califórnia. Concurso já muito tradicional, reunindo aí as garotas que anunciam o próximo round. A vencedora vai levar $3.000. A segunda colocada vai levar $2.500. Vai anunciar primeiro a segunda colocada. que é a número 1, aquela que desfilou primeiro, a Lissa. Ela que é natural de Nova York, tem 22 anos de idade, leva flores e leva um cheque de $2.500 para melhorar o seu rendimento. E a primeira colocada, que vai ser anunciada agora, é aquela que desfilou por último, a sexta a desfilar, a Tina, que tem 22 anos. Nós mostramos aqui, ela foi muito aplaudida pelo público. Aí está a confirmação, ela leva o prêmio de $3.000 como a garota de ringue lá na Califórnia.
Sharp. Sharp's convenient picture-in-picture TV gives you the choice. Dynamic stereo sound system with a high-quality large-size screen. Sharp.
We're going to take a milk and cookie break and be back with more Clint and more showbiz right after this.
The hard part.
See. Tomorrow on Showbiz Today, the story behind Oliver Stone's Nixon.
Houston is leading by 3. Welcome back to the summit in Houston. They're on their feet.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
I was going to sing You're as Slow as Sydney, but I didn't.
To our viewers around the world at this special time of year, a wish for peace on Earth from CNN International.
Recently, CNN Science and Technology found a way to make tough trucks even tougher.
This might be a monster truck with 5-foot-tall tires. Here in northern Minnesota, a small company is building a new kind of monster truck, and it's a truck that looks more like a tank. The company manufactures tank-like tracks to mount on regular trucks instead of tires and wheels. The tracks are made of bulletproof Kevlar and can be taken on and off a truck with little effort.
You simply jack up your vehicle and you unbolt your wheels and you bolt these on and you're ready to go anywhere.
The tracks can be used in snow, mud, swamps, and sand. And they can run at speeds up to 35 miles an hour for a limited time on hard surface roads, too.
CNN's Science and Technology Week on CNN International.
It's been called...
The PGA Tour.
Quarterback titular, ele roubou a posição que pertencia ao Rick Meyer. Rick Meyer foi inclusive recrutado na primeira ronda universitária, quando ele saiu da universidade, mas acabou desapontando. Aí está o Hostetler, que volta para a equipe do Oakland, que vem de...
Stockton, bounce feed into Carl.
Karl Malone and John Stockton, they've been able to do it for a decade and do it very effectively.
What a pass by Stockton!
Stockton's main focus is getting the ball to Karl Malone, because Karl Malone is going to finish. That's why they call him the mailman, because he delivers.
Here's the mailman. What a play!
Every time you turn your head, it's too late. That's how good they are.
John Stockton and Karl Malone, 2 parts of the Dream Team, coming this summer.
Otro candidato. Nuevo.
The Philadelphia Flyers made it to the conference. And welcome everybody to the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey, where they are snowbound tonight and where the players may outnumber the fans as the Flyers and Devils meet for the 3rd time this season. Welcome, everybody. Gary Thorne, Bill Clement, and Al Morgani. Delighted to have you with us. If you're...
1, 2, 3, 4, yeah! Move, 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 my body's great. Adrenalina pura, meu corpo em movimento. Se for ficar parado, sai da frente. Mexe, mexe, mexe com quem se mexe, sure. Mexe, mexe, mexe com quem se mexe, sure. I like my body, don't stop the music. Mexe, mexe, mexe com quem se mexe, sure. Mexe, 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 because I'm body for sure.
De Chris Murray na temporada, perdão, 14º, mas ele teve um no passe, é o 13º em corridas.
Introducing the Double Burner.
Spring and summer means getting outdoors to enjoy the beauty of our environment. Hi, I'm Martina Navratilova, a member and supporter of the Sierra Club. This summer, enjoy the environment without harming it. When traveling, don't leave garbage behind. And if you find someone else's, pick it up. Don't break tree limbs or pick flowers. The key is to leave the land the way you found it, or even better. For more information on what you can do, contact the Sierra Club. You can make a world of difference.
Well, the NBA on ESPN returns from All-Star Weekend for the Jazz and the Spurs from San Antonio. I'm Mark Brown, glad you could be with us. And you'll recall that the Spurs were without Dennis Rodman for the first 17 games of this season. But for all of his off-court problems, there's no denying Dennis Rodman's impact on the court.
5 other people were wounded. Salvi may be prosecuted in federal court after the state trial. A federal judge has rejected the Justice Department's proposed antitrust settlement with Microsoft. The judge said he was unable to find compelling evidence the agreement was in the public interest. It would have forced Microsoft to change the way it sells or licenses operating software to personal computer makers. The judge says the agreement would not have broken Microsoft's monopoly. The Senate has refused to exempt Social Security from a mandate to balance the budget. Today's 57-41 vote was mostly along party lines. It leaves unchanged the Republican-backed proposal for a constitutional amendment that requires Congress to balance the budget. The amendment has passed the House. If it clears Congress, it would have to be ratified by 3/4 of the states. Some freshman congressmen are having trouble balancing their personal budgets. They're accepting money from lobby groups to pay off their campaign loans. Brooks Jackson has more on that.
It's business as usual in Washington. Lobbyists helping pay off personal debts of new lawmakers. No cameras allowed.
Sure we can't come in now? Well, the only reason
Alka-Seltzer o Bromo-Seltzer suenan iguales, pero existen 2 puntos de diferencia. Bromo-Seltzer tiene 29% más capacidad para neutralizar la acidez que Alka-Seltzer. Eso es 29% más poder para neutralizar el ácido estomacal. Y Bromo-Seltzer contiene el analgésico sin aspirina más usado en hospitales, mientras que Alka-Seltzer contiene aspirina. Así es que si usted quiere 29% más capacidad para neutralizar la acidez y el analgésico más usado en hospitales, escoja Bromo-Seltzer.
Este es su canal de noticias.
What do the really, really beautiful people drink when they get thirsty? The same thing as the rest of us. Image is nothing. Thirst is everything. Obey your thirst. Sprite.
International efforts to end the war in Bosnia-Herzegovina are taking a new turn. A top U.S. official says economic sanctions against Serbia would be temporarily lifted under a new plan. In exchange, Serbia would have to recognize Bosnia and other former Yugoslav republics. The United States and its allies reportedly have scrapped negotiations with Serbs in Bosnia who have rejected past peace proposals. The Pentagon says Iraq is slow in training troops for their own defense. And our Valentine's focus today, lifestyles, including a run on roses by Russians, merry marriages in Malaysia, and a surprising survey about sex. Russians apparently are getting into the spirit this Valentine's Day. British florists say an unprecedented demand from the former Soviet bloc has business blooming. And Russian tastes run expensive. The more lavish varieties are the best sellers. This year, Valentine's Day coincides with the final day of Chinese New Year celebrations. Young couples in Malaysia are rushing to the altar. The marriage registrar's office reports a frenzy of weddings as people take advantage of this double love day. And a new survey may offer some valuable advice if you're looking to practice the art of seduction. Joan McFarlane has details.
University flowers.
Flowers are a great way to show you care, but if you really want to seduce your Valentine, you need to say you care.
I love you, the first of many Valentine's Days.
According to a new study out of the University of Michigan, some of the most effective ways to woo a woman are to tell her that you really love her, treat her with respect, make her a gourmet meal, or offer to give her a massage.
The more subtle things, like maybe a smile or something not too aggressive.
Researchers say women prefer long-term relationships and are more likely to consent to having sexual relations if there is an emotional commitment.
Signals from the man that he has those emotions, that he has respect for her, that he has long-term interest, are highly effective for men to use.
Now, the men in this survey said they didn't necessarily need to be romanced. They preferred instead the direct approach. Men were distinctly different in what tactics they perceived as effective in seduction. Topping the men's list are things like undressing in front of him, guiding his hands to the genital area, starting to undress him, or simply tell him you want to have sex.
I'd have to say a lot of guys today like a woman that comes on to them and really initiates a relationship. Very upfront, very straight ahead, non-subtle.